Well, the Delhi government has talked about doing a similar attempt right here in Delhi in an effort to solve the hospital bed crisis. They've asked private hospitals, 22 of them, to reserve up to 50% of their beds for corona patients. Currently, there's about 1441 corona beds. That number will go up to about almost 3,500. But a government panel has also suggested that stadiums be roped in for the arrangement of extra beds, and that then those stadiums be turned into makeshift hospitals. We're talking about Pragati Maidan, Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, the Dhyan Chand Stadium. So 6 stadiums should be made into makeshift hospitals is what the Delhi government's panel has recommended at a time when Delhi's cases are spiking. But the numbers projected by the Delhi government was startling and perhaps even alarmist. In fact, the Delhi government, after its meeting yesterday, talked about how by 15th June there would be 44,000 cases, if we can get our bar graphic up. By 30th June, there would be 1 lakh cases, and by the 31st of July, there would be as many as 5.5 lakh cases in Delhi, and that would need a requirement of almost 80,000 corona beds in hospitals and in these makeshift facilities. Well, we're joined today by several doctors here in the national capital to take us through what this is going to mean effectively. We have Dr. Romil Tikku, and who is the Associate Director of Internal Medicine, Max Healthcare, with us. My first question to you, Dr. Tikku, would you say from what you have seen so far that the Delhi government's projections of how many cases Delhi is likely to get by end July, is that a realistic projection, or does it seem on the high side?
Well, I won't be surprised if it happens, because numbers are anyway expected to go up. See, we can't be an exception to the rule. It has happened all over the world, in whichever country, whether it's US, Europe, numbers have gone up. See, because of the lockdown, we were able to curtail the containment of the virus. But now that the economy is open, shops are open, offices are open, people are going back to work, public transport has started. See, now the numbers are spiking, and that's what was expected anyways. What we have to focus is on not on the numbers, but on the mortality. Nobody should die of COVID. That's what our focus should be. See, more and more people getting infected is fine as long as they're able to be admitted to a hospital. Majority of the disease, 80% of the disease is mild. So most of them are getting treated at home. We just have to keep a track of their health at home. They have to involve some nurse, some doctor, do a video consult, or maybe involve some hospital which provides home care services. But the ones who are old, vulnerable, they have to be taken care of. If they need hospitalization, we have to take care of. We have to make sure that every sick patient gets a bed in the hospital. Right now, the worry in Delhi is that if you fall sick, you might not get a bed in a hospital. See, most of the hospitals, whether it's private, government, all top hospitals are full. But yes, more and more beds are being added, whether it's government hospital, private hospitals. See, 22 hospitals have been asked to increase the beds yesterday. More and more stadiums, hotels are being converted into hospitals. So yes, the need of the hour is to ramp up the infrastructure, increase the number of beds. The ones who need hospitalization should be able to get it. There has to be a complete coordination between all the hospitals who are taking care of COVID patients, whether it's government, private. Somebody who lands up in the hospital and there's no bed there, there has to be a help desk there. Somebody has to monitor their health status, make sure that they're stabilized, they're put in an ambulance along with a doctor and sent to a particular COVID facility. You can't expect a sick patient to run around from one hospital to another. So that is the need of the hour, I would say. And this elderly, vulnerable should be at home. They have to be taken care of. The rest of us who are young and healthy should go back to work, provided we do the social distancing, hand hygiene,
so you're
and
saying
things
it
like
is
that.
possible to isolate at home for most cases, and that of course would seem to be something that the Delhi government has taken into consideration, because they're talking about 5.5 lakh cases and 80,000 beds. So that's a lot of patients who would then be treating themselves at home and go into self-isolation. But Dr. Lakrawala, you've been associated with the COVID hospital at the NSCI Dome in Mumbai. So that is a makeshift facility in a sense that's catering to large numbers of COVID patients. Do you see this as the model going ahead, the fact that stadiums can be converted into makeshift COVID hospitals, and are they serving the purpose?
So I think the immediate purpose was to house a lot of the slum population so that they would not go and infect more people. And that's why we set up this facility at the Dome. It's a large space. It is a well-controlled space. You could get patients out quickly. The other thing going from Mumbai, from what we've learned is that it's not only important to treat the asymptomatic or the mild symptomatic, but also cater in the very near need for probably for a place like Delhi and for the other cities in India would be for the critically ill patients. So acute care units need to be set up even as we speak, because that's what, like Dr. Amal said, we are going to save more lives. So I would recommend that we go ahead and set up more and more makeshift critical care units, like we are setting up in Mumbai right now. We're setting up ICUs and critical care units in containers so that you can house these patients early. You'll never get the number of beds available in genuine hospitals, even if you take up the private hospitals, because this is a pandemic of such proportions that you'll never get the numbers right. So I would recommend that makeshift ICUs, at least HDUs, if not ICUs, where high dependency units, where high flow oxygen masks are there, BiPAP machines are there, so that your patients might have a better chance at living.
Fair enough. Dr. Yatin Mehta, Chairman of the Medanta Institute of Critical Care, is with us as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. The big worry clearly is how to have enough infrastructure in place. We were told that the 2 months or so of lockdown has delayed India's timeline in a sense, and it's going to see a spike much further down the line, perhaps as late as end July or early August. However, at the same time, these 2 months doesn't seem to have given most big cities enough time to ramp up infrastructure. That's still a work in progress. Is this something that we can overcome? Or is it always going to be this sufficient sort of lag, as it were, between the number of beds needed and what there is?
See, Ankita, the first case which was reported in India was in January. Okay, it has been 6 months. The lockdown happened in April, 2.5 months back. And why are we struggling with the numbers now? I mean, that is enough time to organize. Epidemiologists and statisticians would have projected the numbers to you. I mean, we are talking about 1 lakh cases in Delhi by the end of June. It is 20 days away, and we still don't have to. We still haven't figured it out. We are saying we are going to convert stadiums. Now, this all should have been worked out earlier. I mean, stadiums you can't just put a bed. You have to have staff there. I saw those in your channel. I had seen in Bombay the NSCI facilities, big facilities. No doctors, no nurses, no equipment. Just putting a bed is not a hospital bed. And in this Delhi's heat, I mean, has somebody thought of it? How they are going to organize it and who are going to run it? I mean, this is very shocking because Bombay and Delhi are the 2 biggest prime cities of India with big infrastructure, healthcare. So why are we struggling now? I mean, there are professionals. If politicians are not able to decide, there are professionals available. All this is very easy. When we got our first Italian patients at Medanta, Dr. Trehan told me in the morning at 10 o'clock that the government is sending these 14 Italian patients. We had no infrastructure, particularly for COVID. And by evening, we had created it. The system of SOPs of how to mobilize this, where to have the separate floor, where to have the staff. I mean, 6 months is a long time. I mean, still I think instead of blaming each other and we should get on with our work, it is still, the battle is not lost. And we should plan for the worst case scenario.
Plan for the worst. Those are, well, solemn words indeed. But Dr. Tiku, one last question to you. The Delhi government is also now insisting that every private hospital display on a big flexi board the number of beds that it has. It lets patients know about the Delhi government app where they can check the status and the availability of beds and effectively make this entire process more transparent. The Delhi government, of course, has also alleged various wrongdoings in a sense by hospitals as well. What is your position on all of this? Do you think, transparency is going to help and this is a good way of going about it?
Of course, that's what I've been saying all along. Transparency is the need of the hour. All the hospitals, whether they are government, private hospitals, top hospitals, small hospitals, we should have access to the information. Right now, everybody is panicking because what they keep hearing, these stories where people are dying on the road, they're not getting beds going from one hospital to the other. That's why there is a lot of panic and fear right now in Delhi. We get calls through the day whether we'll be able to get a bed at Max or some bigger hospital. Yes, most of the top hospitals are full, but as you see, more and more hospitals are being added. And this insecurity in people have to be taken care of, because if they manage to get a bed, then there won't be too much of a panic. Transparency, of course, will help. There has to be a central number, helpline, or some sort of a team which manages it for them. You can't expect a sick patient who's breathless and panting for breath run all over the place. That's why we are losing lives. Even if you land up in a hospital, which is not a COVID-specific hospital, or they don't have a bed, you stabilize him. Just make sure that he's sent in an ambulance to a COVID specialty. I mean, you don't expect the attendants of the patient to do that, run around from one place to another. Somebody has to do it. The government, the private hospitals, there should be a team which handles this bed process, and it has to be completely transparent. I completely agree with you. There has to be transparency. You should be able to check it in your app or whatever at home that which hospital you have to go to.
Well, we certainly all agree on transparency. We hope that it actually works out also in the days and weeks going ahead, because that really is going to be so very necessary. Dr. Lakdawala, Dr. Tikku and Dr. Mehta, thank you very much indeed for speaking with NDTV.